Hello everyone and welcome back to our 9-month Ultimate World Cruise adventure, and today we're beginning our trip down the Dalmatian coast and we get to go to Zadar, Croatia, a place we haven't visited for over 20 years, and we're going to see how has it changed and is it worth coming back to.
Welcome to Living Phase 2.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Nancy, and we're empty nesters striving to live life to the fullest.
And we are living that full life aboard Royal Caribbean's 9-month Ultimate World Cruise on Serenade of the Seas.
We are. Well, friends, today we're in Zadar, Croatia. Now, Zadar is located on the north part of Croatia. It's on the east side of the Adriatic Sea, and they have been independent from Yugoslavia now since 1991 is all. Now, like a number of the ports that we've been to, we're at an industrial port kind of outside of town. So they did provide a shuttle for us to get into town, which was very nice. And the shuttle took us to the sea organ. And this is fascinating, friends. This is an organ that is built like into the sea wall. And so as the tide, or as the waves come in, it pushes kind of on the bellows, it pushes the air, and it makes this sound. And the higher the waves, the stronger the waves, the different notes that it makes. And you can listen to it here for just a bit. So we sat and we listened to the organ for a little bit, which is, again, just so fascinating. And then we walked into town to meet our guide.
Yep. And so what we're doing today is we're doing what's called a GuruWalk. You can look them up on the internet. We'll put a link to GuruWalks in the description. Now, what GuruWalk is, you look at your different cities that you're in, and if they have a GuruWalk available, what it is, it's a local guide who will walk you around, give you a tour, do all the explanations. But you actually don't pay for the tour. You pay the guide at the end, and you simply pay them whatever you feel that the tour was worth. So you basically tip them to do the tour. Now, the one caveat to that is some countries do require the guide be paid something. So a lot of times there's a €1 fee or something, but usually GuruWalks pays that. So you do want to be aware that the guide themselves may actually being charged a euro per head that's on the tour. But it's really a nice way for the local guides to have a lot of business, and then you can reply to how good the tour is with how much you think it's worth.
And I think they actually do quite well on these tours. I think they possibly make more money that way than having a set fee.
That's right. The only thing to be cautious of with GuruWalks is occasionally the tour sizes can get a little large.
Yes.
Because they're going to try to obviously get on as many people on the tour as they possibly can, because then they can get more tips and more pay, etc. And sometimes the group sizes can get a little big. And this group size we were in was, I thought, a little big. But that said, the guide, actually, Eva was her name, was very good.
She was.
And overall, with a little spoiler alert here, we did enjoy her tour very much. Now, we were on this tour with your brother and sister-in-law and our niece. So they were with us as well, walking around the city. And once we got started, Eva started with just an overview of Zadar and kind of what we'll see. Now, what you will find as we go through these next few ports that you'll see in our videos is we're near the Adriatic here, and the Roman Empire obviously was very strong here, and we're going to see some amazing Roman ruins in this area, probably even as good or better than you would even see in Rome for some of the ones that are left here. So that's what we started with, actually.
So after giving us an overview of the city, she took us to what was a Roman Forum, or it was kind of the foundation of a Roman Forum, and I was really impressed with this.
Yeah, so it was all laid out. They had the maps of what the Forum looked like, how it was laid out as a Roman city. Now, obviously, this being 1,000 years ago, they 2,000 years ago, they had repurposed a lot of it. The city had taken over certain areas, but you could see a lot of the remnants of the Roman city, the Roman buildings, and a lot of the buildings had been converted to, as an example, churches. So we saw like the Church of St. Donatius, the Church of St. Anastasia, and some of those have been old Roman buildings then repurposed and converted. And she did a good job of explaining each of the things, what you saw, what they would have been used for, how the Roman city operated. And I thought that was very fascinating, and enjoyed it a lot. Well, the next thing that she did after walking through the forum, it was kind of funny. She actually walked us to the organ, to the sea organ again, because we saw that on our own because that's where the bus dropped us off. But that was part of her GuruWalk. But the part that she did add to that was the what was it called? The sun salutation. Yes. And so that was very interesting. Now, unfortunately, we're not here at night. You've heard us say many times, and that's one of the disadvantages of doing a world tour through a cruise versus being in a city overnight. The sun salutation actually lights up, and it's this huge bright area with all these lights and
in the ground.
Yeah. And so we walked over it and you could see it, but obviously it wasn't lit up. But that is something that if you're in Zadar, right next door to the pipe organ is the sun salutation. Do not miss going over there at night. That's
right.
It's really quite spectacular. We've seen some pictures at night of what it looks like. So, well, after that, our guide went and we started walking back through the city.
Well, the next place that she took us to was really interesting. It was a church, St. Lawrence Church, and this church, they've covered it, and when they covered it, in the front of it, it's a coffee bar.
Yeah.
So you go into the coffee bar, the Louvre coffee bar, you go through the coffee shop and then into the church. It was just rather interesting and very unique to see this.
Yeah, 1,000-year-old church, and again they built this glass structure around it to protect it, but you would not even know it's there. It's like you walk into a Starbucks and there's a 1,000-year-old church in the bathroom.
Yes,
you know?
very unique.
Yeah, it's so you walk in and again, don't hesitate to go into this coffee shop because they're used to that. Obviously, you walk straight through, and as you walk straight through, you go down some steps, and then you see this old 1,000-year-old church down there, and it's all protected, as you said. Very fascinating. I never would have thought of going into a coffee shop to see to see an ancient church. Yeah, and it's not an active church anymore. It's just the ruins of the church.
Yes.
Yeah. So no, that was really quite fascinating. And then we walked on through the city again with Eva on our GuruWalk, and she showed us some of the Roman pillars and where more parts of the city was. In fact, there's parts of the city they've covered in the sidewalks are covered by glass, and you can look down through them and see the ancient foundations of the Roman city. So again, many Roman ruins here, and they've really started to do a really good job of trying to preserve that history so that you can still see what it's like. Well, then we went up to a city park and had a nice overlook, and we could see the actual old city walls of Zadar, and on those walls is the Venetian lion. So a few videos ago you saw that we were in Venice, and the Venetian Empire, and it really was an empire at the time, controlled all these different cities in this area, and you could see their crest was on the walls of the city because this was a Venetian stronghold here, and part of the trading guilds and the trade routes that the Venetians used. So this was a Venetian city as well and controlled by them. Well, after that we went down from the park and down from the city walls, and that was the end of our GuruWalk with Eva. We went ahead and tipped her. We took care of that, and then asked her, well, do you have some restaurant recommendations? And funny thing, she even had like a list that she had right there. She said, well, these are the ones I like. And we looked through the different list, and we picked one called Forcantuna. And it looked really good, so we walked on over there with your brother and his wife.
And it was good. We had pizza. We had...
I had beef cheeks.
Yes.
Yes, and they were really good. Yeah.
We had a beef...
It was goulash.
Beef cheek goulash.
Yeah. Yep, and it was a very nice meal and very enjoyable. Now remember... just kind of a little pro tip here, a reminder, when you're touring in Europe, in most places in Europe, don't ever be in a hurry. We've got to take off that fast food American kind of sometimes attitude that we've got. You're going to sit down. You're going to have a drink. You're going to have your appetizer.
It'll easily be a couple of hours.
Right. So if you really are limited on your time touring, sitting down at a restaurant in Europe is not really the way to go. You may want to just grab a sandwich or something like that, because it is going to take you an hour to 2 hours to to sit and have that meal, which we enjoyed thoroughly. That's something that
did.
we anticipated. Well, after that, we walked through the area. We actually tried some maraschino that was from this area. We tried a little bit of that. We
Yummy.
tried some different wines and different things in different shops, just looked at them. But then you got a very unique thing before we headed back.
I did. So there was an artist there who was doing wire work, and he was making words out of wire by bending the wire with little pliers, and he would make whatever you wanted. I believe it's $10. And so I got a little bracelet, and it says Mima on it, and then he hung a little charm, so you could pick out a charm. So I picked out like a tree of life, and I'm thinking I'm going to get like little birthstones of my grandbabies and put them on here.
Since you are their Meemaw.
I'm the Meemaw. And so after my bracelet was made, we took the shuttle back to the ship, and we decided this would make a wonderful stop on a driving trip, kind of like what we said yesterday too. So this was just wonderful. It was delightful.
Yeah, I really enjoy Croatia. I'm, as we
Beautiful.
mentioned, we went to Croatia 20 plus years ago with our children. And the country has just gotten better and better as they've come out of that breakup of Yugoslavia. And it is really a wonderful place to go. Not only is it still relatively affordable to go there, it's the people are wonderful and great sights and things to see there too. So when we talk about would we go back, I would love to take a driving trip from the north to the south
I would agree.
through this area. So I think I'd recommend that to anybody. Well, Nancy, where are we going tomorrow?
Well, we are going to the beautiful city of Split, Croatia. We're staying in Croatia. We're going to see a wonderful palace from the Emperor Diocletian. So this will be another one you won't want to miss, friends.
Yeah, it really is amazing. The emperor retires and builds almost an entire city as his palace, so you're going to want to be sure to see that one. And again, we are having a great time going through Croatia, so be sure to tune into that. And how will they know when this video comes out?
Well, because they will have subscribed to us, and they'll turn on those notifications.
That's right.
Thanks, friends, for doing that. It truly does help us. Hit that like button. Thank you so much. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for following along on our journey.
And we'll see you in Split, Croatia.
Yes. Have
Bye-bye
a beautiful
now.
day. Bye-bye.
Well, where are we at tomorrow, Nancy?
Oh, Split, Croatia. Okay.
Oh,
It's all right. Keep running.
okay, so I'll just say it again. Well, where are we at tomorrow, Nancy?
Well, we are going to Split, Croatia, Mike. And what are we going to do there?
I don't know. I thought you were going to say. Why are you asking me?